I celebrated uh, catching up with few of you who knew about the birthday. And but what I wanted to say is, we come into this place each year. We are just into this gentle body that has we have borrowed, that we are going to work with it. But this year was a particular one because of the experiences that I have in age, is how much my innocence has been robbed by the space of doing. That we take this identity when we are no longer in the practice, and we move into that place of the crowd, and we deplete ourselves constantly by having this identity. But then we lost that innocence of that laugh. And a lady who was there, Sylvia was there, Nicolina, Na's mom, Dione, and Vula, and Chris. There was a lady sitting next to my table when I was having some coffees and cakes. And I was so much laughing, and it was very natural. And she came, and she's also an older lady. She said, keep that laughing happening. And it reminds me again, she said, because don't ever lose it. That's what happens when we were children. I mean, I go to places where I do my work with Dasa, and I go to next to schools, and I could hear this massive amount of laugh for no reason, and these kids trying to get into these gentle bodies, and they are using it in a way and maneuvering it to become that adult, maybe more urging to become like their parents, but don't lose that innocence. It is very, very important, because then comes the part that when we wear this mask constantly, this, that, and I have to be engaging on that level, we get depleted. And then the question comes, what's my worth? Especially every one of us have had wrong information that we have borrowed from the social level. Um, and sometimes we may had a very bad journey. And then we are now, we should have the practice not to get caught up with that, because that is the part that you have self-doubt and not have that self-worth. So remind yourself that you are, not unconsciously, how much worthy you are and how much resilient you are, how far you have come, and how you manage so many other things while even you are managing this whole given body and the emotional network, um, and the psychology of it, all that. And then the whole world is shouting and screaming at it, what is trending, and you lose yourself. So this is why it is very important. Birthdays are nothing other than a reminder of how fragile that I'm getting with my age, with this body. But that is not who I am totally. This is exactly like you're taking an old car that has been there, but it's gently go through the drive. But remember that you are not that space of the car. You are just a passenger sitting, not even driving. But sometimes when we have this identity, we go to the destinations that we are very known to it. So today's class is going to gently pinpoint at your self-worth and breaking those habits and becoming aware of it, that whatever the situation is you're going through, I see you as the same way when I'm in the practice, how I see myself. We all love to be respected, loved, appreciated, purpose. And try, when you try to see people next time, to meet them on that level, not that your identity meeting their identity and constantly in a battle of judgment. Because deep down, every one of us deserves love, loved, um, and celebration of that worth and purpose. It is very, very important, no matter what the gender is, no matter what the age is, no matter what it is. That's what the whole space is about. Now, saying that, I will move the camera towards Darren. Um, so take a deep breath in and shoulders roll back and open up your chest and elevate that space of the heart that the mind has taken so much space and it's just have allowed the heart to get buried. So just a couple of breaths to reminder that I'm not just a resident of the space of the head. I'm coming into that space. A couple of deep breathing as a reminder. And come to this instant moment that the most joyful existence that you're experiencing. I'll let it be connected to the body, to the mind, to the space that you're looking from. And let this breath be and let us all come to this space. It's not just a hope, but it is our true nature. Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage the back of the skull. Open and close the mouth a few times to release that tension. And this is just the invitation to that present moment. Whatever you want to call the nature, God, Christ conscious, Buddhist conscious, the truth. Now chin to the chest and collapse the spine to release that tension and come into a place of a flow. The energy is more genuine, energy is more authentic. Now take a deep breath in and twist the spine to the right side, stomach very gently pulling in. Back into the center. Take a deep breath in and breathe out to the other side. Even want to change the formation of the legs. Back into the center. Now just witness through your thoughts and emotions the explosiveness of your thoughts, the seriousness of your thoughts. And take a moment to create that distance. Don't deny it, don't accept it, just as it is. Because that's where your mask is constantly hitting by things and you're constantly tired of wearing something that suffocates you to your true authenticity. Now take a deep breath in and left leg back. Keep that right hip open. Take a deep breath in and elongate the rib cage very gently in the front and in the back and into the sides. And take a moment to drop this facade of energies that are depleting from you. Take a deep breath in, breath out. Drop the elbows, release the tension, and walk those palms into the front. And come into the place of what exactly you're feeling in this very moment. Now, very gently release that tension that you have set up yourself, that you are much more higher than anyone else. You know what it is. None of us know what it is. Just relax and set that bar that you are setting up to drop a little bit more. And have every moment that you have this recognition in your thoughts and emotions that you drop the bar. Don't come with so much of information. We are in such an explosive time because people are explosive to information. Now take a deep breath in very gently. Invite yourself coming back. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Now very gently moving into a plank. In this plank, you're engaging the pelvic floor. Couple of more deep breaths. You're opening up the fingers, releasing the tension. There's nothing in this space is not. Everything is worth of a laugh. Everything is worth of humanity. And in this way, they see you, you see them without any separation. So now you can connect into that space. Take a deep breath in, drop the knees and stretch the spine now. Take a deep breath in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing in into a up face. Breathing out to the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Drop the knees, stretch the spine. Breathing in into the up face. Breathing out to the down face. Now very gently, left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Shoulders relaxed, just open. Take a deep breath in. Drop the elbows, hold those palms into the ground. Now just observe yourself that you're meeting this space of realization. There is no facade, there is no mask. In this level of that space, you don't have to overprotect your mask, identity, your past trauma. There is nothing now is disturbing you. There is nothing that we can't be vulnerable about. There is nothing that's not worth that space of joy, light, love. Now take a deep breath in very gently. Come back, shoulders relaxed. Now take a moment. Just observe. Even the person that you have problems with, even the world that you have problem with, even the politician that you have problem with, is this inflicted space now that you can very gently release? Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be respected. We all are there for help. We are all there to feel good. We all want to come into that place of purpose. Now come and set that space of realization into the body, into the breath, into the interactions of the thought. One or two things might happen. Either if you behave like this, you can see that you can agitate someone and repel because they can't get there with you, or you're going to celebrate that moment. I can drop this facade. I can tell this person what I'm actually going through. And take a deep breath in and coming very gently into a plank. Strong on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees and stretch the spine, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. breathing in into the up face, breathe out towards the down face, breathing in into a plank, lower plank now, breathing in into a up face, breathe out towards the down face, breathing in into a plank, lower plank, up face, down face. Now lift up onto the toes and push the heels down, releasing that tension. Bring that heart and allow this body to feel that space of feeling the purpose, feeling the authenticity, feeling the vulnerability, feeling the interaction. Now take a deep breath in, left leg up into the back, give full rotation to that foot. Also clench and opening up, releasing that tension. Left knee to the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow, stretch back. Left knee to the right elbow, stretch back. Left knee to the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raised onto the ground. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Take a moment. Basically, we all want the same very simple things. If we want to be loved, the others also want the same things. If we want to feel secure, the other. If we want to feel healthy, the other same. If we want to be respected, same. If we want a purpose, the other. Coming to this place and opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Take a mudra. Take a moment. A mudra is a reminder of that you are away from the facade of your physical body. You're away from your likes and dislikes. You're away from the way you see your gender, your sexual preferences, your race, your religion, whatever is coming up to you. What are the primordial energies of those thoughts that you are having? Take a deep breath in. We all want the same thing, regardless of whatever. Gentle arch. Gently coming back, elbow onto the knee. Now use the block and very gently keep the block on the floor and straighten in the front knee and move on to the Purna Trikonasana. A triangle pose. Now breathing through the right nostril into the third eye, breathing out through the left nostril through that energy portal, breathing in through the left nostril into the third eye or to the right arm. It's that full range of experience into the alternative breathing. Deeper connection beyond, down and out. Take a deep breath in, right arm reaching into the back and touch the floor. Now bend the knee. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Reaching into the back, touch the floor. Now you're coming into the place of the realization that there is no limit. There's absolutely nothing that should be holding you back. Whether it's a race, whether it's a gender, it's a nationality, whether it's your childhood, adulthood. This is where the divinity is in the uniting awareness that we all share. And I think it's reminding ourselves first so that you can go and remind the others. Tug the knees and stretch the spine. Let it be your core of the practice today where we are at. hopefully very genuinely, you can meet everyone you're going to meet today in that same space. All what you have to do is be present so that you acknowledge their space without aspiration. Now take a deep breath in, falling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into an up face, breathing out towards the down face. Very gently ground into the space of that spirit itself on the down face. Right leg up into the back, rotation to the right foot, clench and unclench, right knee to the right chest. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. And with that core muscle, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow. Stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raised onto the crown. Arms onto the namaskar position. Ground the breath. Observe the authentic spirit of yourself. All now, when you release all your mind and its thoughts and its emotion, all that is left is work. All that left is a genuine celebration of gratitude. Even this moment you're doing the class, even this moment you're breathing, enjoy this human experience that you are experiencing. When you come into that space, what is given to you is a blessing. Whatever you're doing, take a moment and opening up into the Virabhadrasana. You're recognizing. Ask yourself how you approach yourself. Recognize that you're smarter than you think you are. Take a moment, let the breath is a reminder of you're more beautiful than you think you are. You're more self-aware than you think you are. You're more capable than you think you are. You're more resilient more than you think you are. You're more resourceful than you think you are. You're stronger than what you think you are. Take a moment. This whole social media is constantly, unfortunately, beat us down. It tries to keep us in boxes, separation, in colors, in pages. Connect in this very moment into that divine nature. We will recognize that we are limitless. A gentle arch. Take a deep breath in and gently coming elbow onto the knee. After I'm reaching up, very gently you're moving into the Trikonasana with a block. And you're doing that breath through your left nostril into the third eye, out through the right, breathing in through the right nostril into the third eye. Let this be that aloneness, that you are not seeing the others. You don't have to pretend wearing masks. Just you don't have to go into the identity of you are a woman, you are a this, that, that. If you constantly put into these categories, you will be treated by the society as such. And when you're treated as such, you start to see yourself as such. Most of the time, it is not positive. Now, left arm reaching into the front and touch the floor. Bend the knee, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Right, reaching to the back and touch the floor. Into a plank. Drop the knees and stretch the spine very gently. The moment, the moment to have gratitude to this body that you are blessed enough to inhabit, that you're borrowing this, you're renting this, you're leasing this. Even you call that you have a permanent place of living as a house, it's all borrowed. So please, when you meet these things, understand everything that we are holding in life is decaying sweetly over time. But is that who you are? Because if that who you are, then there is something that you need to work on yourself, worth not through your property, not through your looks, not through your money. So most of the time when people go on a pilgrimage or have a class like this, they come into this place alone when you don't have what perceived to be as a judgment of other folks, is where when you don't judge and criticize, do you know that that is the fullest worth of yourself? So take a moment to come into this realization. If you go to the information, if you go to the politics, if you go to the science, it beats you down. It's try to keep you, even if you don't have a sickness, in a box. But now you have come into all this is gone, then there is left is worth. All left is this genuine gratitude that you are having this human experience. Not many people have that human experience. And your blessing of being whatever you're doing. This was a great reminder on my birthday. But it's nothing to do, seen as this and seen as this and seen as age and seen as. I didn't allow myself to put in myself into a category. So I'm treated as such. Because I'm treated as such, I start seeing myself as such. That's what happens. A lot of people can't let go of their victimhood. They put themselves on a category, they treated it like that, then they are treated as such, and they start seeing themselves as such. But the practice is nothing other than you get into the most authentic spirit itself, space. Now, very gently moving to a child pose. Remind yourself that love, the innocence, you didn't have a plan when you start running. I have seen kids run, they don't have a plan. But imagine if you have to run, you think about your route. You think about whether it's a good time or a bad time. Think about how a child runs, doesn't have a direction. And where have you lost, and where this has decayed to you now, or where did you have lost this? I understand all of you had a childhood didn't go as what the society says. Some of you have discovered with family members mental illness, a lot of unaddressed traumas. But don't take this is who I am. Take those spaces as the building nature of your foundation. Don't take a permanent place of the body. It's just a mobile communication space. You get move around. You communicate with the world through this thing. You're very blessed to inhabit it. You're very gently borrowing it, leasing it. And you come into this realization that how vulnerable in this place of these bodies, this breath, when you come into that humility, wake up the spine with honesty, wake up. Now that is fullest space of work. Now, a lot of people go into these places, they want perfection, and they can't achieve the perfection. There goes, am I worth it? Am I worthy? Just take a moment, let the practice bring this voice down. Otherwise, this ongoing thing will cater to you. I'm not asking you to force it, but just observe that. Or when you come into that space, stretch your legs and feel that space of release out of the shackle. We all are consciously or not, we are doing it. So then comes the space when you coming into this realization, who am I? Now, every day, do it as a practice. So if the family comes, financial disadvantage comes, health comes, just observe. Because the way you have largely brought up as a child is always is a reminder of you don't want to become, but thinking about that, you get treated exactly like that. Now bring the knees to the chest and completely breathe out when you come into this realization. Breathing in, arms raise onto the ground, feet stretch. Knees to the chest, breathe out. Breathing in, 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 breathe out. Knees to the chest, relax. Cross the legs and twist the spine to the right. Take a deep breath in, come back into the center, and very gently cross the legs and twisting the spine to the other side. Back into the center. Keep that spine strong. Now, what is the practice? Practice is nothing that you're nurturing yourself and raising your vibration by yourself. When we neglect that, what happens is we go to that victim part. And now the same thing, if it's you're traumatized as a kid and you need to work on yourself, but now you're bringing the realization. So most of the time when this happens, I wasn't worth the love, the attention, the guidance. Doesn't matter what age you are, you still can struggle with this idea. Am I worth it? Am I worthy? And you need practice is nothing other than quietening this voice so you become that space of worth. Now, this goes to relationships, this goes to anything. When you have these things, insecurities and feelings of getting older, getting this, will I be alone? Will I be ever have enough? All these things stem from your self-worth. Whether you feel good enough, all comes from that space of that childhood. Nothing to do with your reality. Now, very gently, when you feel that release, I'll let all your cells laugh and shout of that joy. Imagine that vibration of energy. Don't lose that contact with that innate joy. Now, there is a moment when you stretch your legs into the front, bend the knees slightly, hit the mat with apart, pull the buttocks, and roll into the front and touch the toes. Just roll from the hips. Now, just whatever the situation is, there is nothing to furthermore to achieve. You're incredibly grateful for this very moment. Of course, life is all about the body and to the mind. It's always opposites. A lot of pain, a lot of happiness, a lot of sad, a lot of laughter. But this moment, if there is sense of scariness of the self, whether it's a relationship with the health, relationship with that or this, or a partner, just observe and very gently observe where the struggle or this block is felt in the body. That you're playing into these energies, into the insecurities and the feelings of time running out, time running out. Observe. There is no reality in the time. You will understand one day this. Now take a deep breath in, gently coming back. Shoulders roll back, palms into the back, fingers pointing to the front, and lift up the buttocks and the glutes, toes pointing into the front. Open up the throat. Don't let the head tilt back so much. Open the space of the throat and the neck in the same way. So you experience this mobile vehicle and this communication device, and you're trying to hold it on with the breath, with the movement. Just being physical, just being conscious, just being spiritual. There's nowhere to go, just enjoying these. No destination, just a mobility in this vehicle. Coming back very gently, knees to the chest, completely breathe out. Breathing in, press onto the ground, big stretch. Breathe out, breathing in, breathe out, breathing in, breathe out, breathing in, breathe out. Now, very gently hold on to the knees and roll back onto the mat. Few more rolling up and down to release any tension and very gently bring that wonder and a reminder of what really life is. Now feet closer to the buttocks and relax. Tuck the tailbone under very gently, waking up the spine or peeling off the spine one vertebra at a time. Very gently coming down one vertebra at a time. Drop the knees to the right side and looking onto the left side. Very gently reminding yourself that all these energies that bringing you down with being an adult, being down with the identity, being down with this serious maturing, all this is ridiculous. Let this body reminds you about that innocence of a child and its laughter. And just experience this body from that. Take a deep breath in and drop the knees onto the opposite direction. Opening up the chest, back into the center, knees to the chest, and lock onto the toes. Switch the legs up, shoulders relaxed, feet apart if you can, or bend the knees slightly and opening up. Just allow this realization be the biggest selling point of the class today. The realization, and you just only allow knees to the chest, completely breathe out, drop the spine, and coming into seated posture. Garudasana, right arm on the top. From the third eye and release that mask that you have been wearing as a survival technique to portray certain facade. Twist the spine to the right side. Back into the center, change to leg formation. Left arm onto the top, onto the Garudasana. Take a moment. Why are you wearing this mask? Is that the whole true representation of yourself? Even if you have to choose a mask, won't it be a more of a jovial space of silliness, a joke when you have realized it? And everything is in that space of love. So stroke the third eye onto the crown, with the spine to the left. Back into the center. Take a moment, summarize the space. There is nothing big words here. Last is really the fragrance of life, releasing all this. And suddenly you will see this realization. If the realization has a color, a feeling, you will ask everyone, are you guys having these moments? In this very moment, you're fleeting right. Now, this can shift in a minute, in a second, if you're unconscious about it, but it's always there. It is illuminating, but it illuminates through the whole network of this body from the head to the toes. And we are coming into the space of autumn, just enjoying that space and the weather within, and in the simplicity of it, you know, and you constantly remind yourself, I don't want to lose this moment. Next time when you have so many things going in your mind, take a second and acknowledge as it is that perfect moment. Now, even for your security, if you have a facade, you can see that facade actually is actually going to work against you. So you don't have to wear a mask to represent you. Take a deep breath in when you come into this realization, arms raised onto the crown, cleansing the space and the aura into the space of that realization. Palms onto the namaskar position. Of that self-worthy. I mean, gratitude for this human experience. Laughter is one of those things. Namaste to you all into the space of your limitlessness. So, as with the time, we are going into this more deeper level of realization, the level of consciousness. It's nothing to do with going deeper or studying further. It is the simplicity. It is when you see the space of this autumn morning, even the light, the sun, you realize it how beautiful it is as it is. And you want to quickly tell everyone who is walking past your house, did you see that? How amazing that space is. And we lose interest of the miracle constantly by holding on to the logic and to the identity and to the separation. And then suddenly something happens. We know how far we are from our authentic self. Um, the innocence of the child. I remember when I was first going into the Bali, uh, it was the village children next to the retreat center. Their laugh was infectious. For no reason, they just laugh and they run in directions without knowing they're running. They just enjoy running and they were just getting used to this mobile vehicle that is being gifted to them. So it is so, so important that no matter where you are at, celebrate these phases of that. You're breathing, you're walking, you have matured yourself, and you're realizing yourself. But the more you realize, the more you will think it was so much stuff that you were holding as your identity is no longer any service to you. On the contrary, if you don't have the practice, you will be servicing it. We are all here on rented bodies, leasing bodies, borrowed bodies, and they're sweetly decaying. So nothing will be ever permanent. And it will be only the space of your realization. And that comes, you will no longer hold on to your story. My love to you. Thank you, Matt. My love to you, there's Rebecca and your beautiful son, Sylvia and Maria and Say. Love to you all. Bye. Good hugs.